You know, I thought this was going to be easy, being a full-time artist. I love to paint. I was even pretty good at it, but no one warned me about the time and the sacrifice it would take to turn my passion for painting into a full-time career. Now, 20 years in, I know better. So in this video, I want to share with you some hard truths that I learned that I wish somebody had sat me down and told me before I'd even started. If you learn these lessons now, this video might just save you 20 years of heartache. So here's the way I thought it would work. I would wake up when I wanted, I would be my own boss, I'd get to paint all day, no responsibilities. I mean, that's the way it is for most artists that are full-time, right? Quickly, I learned that I needed to step up to a level that I didn't previously anticipate. So if you're thinking about making this leap to go into full-time art, here's what you're gonna need to know before you jump. And one of the reasons that I'm making this video and putting this out there to the world is because of the sheer volume of emails and correspondence that I get from people all over the world wanting to make this leap. So again, I hope this video is a blessing to you, and some of these hard truths that we're going to talk about here in this video are going to save you a lot of time and heartache. Okay, here's the first hard truth. Talent alone is not enough. Now, I know that's hard to hear. Maybe you've been told in the past that you're good at painting, you're a pretty good artist, but it's not enough to rely on talent alone. Now, skills are important. It's vitally important for making this work as a full-time artist. It earns you that right to compete, but it's just the starting line. What separates those who succeed is that resilience, that long-term vision, that staying power, and business smarts. And so let me ask you, have you ever come across somebody who was insanely talented, but for whatever reason, they just couldn't make it work full-time? Because maybe they were relying on talent alone. It's not enough to get us over the finish line. And this leads me to harsh truth number 2, and that is, you're building a business. You're not just creating art. Now, the second you decide to sell your art, congratulations, you're now an entrepreneur. This means you need systems, you need a strategy, and you need some sort of financial discipline. You can't just follow that muse. You have to handle cash flow, track your inventory, take care of customer relations. You know, think like a CEO. This shift in mindset took me years to understand, but once I got it in my head, it was a game changer. It literally changed everything. So you might have a good skill set, you might be starting to treat this like a business, and so you put yourself out there. Time for harsh truth number 3, rejection is the norm, not the exception. When I first started, I mean way back in the day, I got rejected from every single gallery I approached. True story. If you're serious about making it as an artist, this is something you're just going to have to deal with. Naturally, artists, in my experience, are pretty sensitive creatures, but if you're able to handle that rejection, then nothing's going to stop you. You just let it roll on off your back and you keep on walking. Hard truth number 4 is that money stress is real. And this is something that just isn't talked about enough. Art sales are seasonal. Most professional artists go through these seasonal fluctuations where they're making great sales for a period of time, and then they go through periods of drought. So your income is going to fluctuate, and sometimes wildly. So you have to have some strategies in place to be able to withstand that. The thing I learned is that I wish I'd saved more during those boom times, and then I'd be able to withstand some of those droughts that I experienced. And trust me, just hanging on with a hope for that next sale, that's not a strategy. You need a plan. You need to manage your finances like a business because that's exactly what you're running. Truth number 5. This is one that no one really likes, but you need to be a relentless self-promoter. And I've spoken to several artists who just want to let the work speak for itself. But in this day and age, It's just not enough. You have to stay visible. You have to be out there in front of people continually. You got to be posting. You got to be out there socializing, networking, exhibiting your stuff. Now, it doesn't have to be pushy. Just make it about sharing yourself, your work, your story. All right? It's not about asking for the sale necessarily. It's just about being in front of people. Put yourself out there. The more you're out there in people's faces, in people's feeds, the more chance you have of those sales starting to come in. The truth is, for a lot of us artists, once we go full time, there's no one there holding us accountable. So we need to step in and do that for ourselves. And it's easier said than done. There was another thing that I discovered that I needed. I also realized that I couldn't do it on my own. And so teaming up with other people who were dedicated as well, whether this was agents or other professionals to help my career, I did that. I networked, and I networked hard. I even found some mentors and people that could guide me. And I was willing to admit that I didn't have this all figured out. I needed help. Yes, being a full-time artist can be hard. It's totally worth it if you go in with your eyes open. And you can absolutely do this. If you're willing to work harder, smarter, put some systems and some plans into place, you set that vision, that pinpoint on the horizon, you aim straight for it, and you don't let anything stop you on your way, on your creative journey. So there you have it. I hope this has been a blessing for you. But if you want to take things a little bit further, if you find yourself at that point where you want to make the leap into full-time art, there's a course for you right now on Tisch Academy. You can check that out with a free 7-day trial by clicking that link in the description down below. Over on the Academy, we've got so much more to talk about. I'm continually adding to that library. And if you like this kind of video, it's a little bit different than my normal painting and drawing tutorials. Why don't you drop me a like and a comment down below if you want to see more videos like this. I'd be happy to make some more for you. In fact, I got a few more of these squirreled away that I'll be sharing with you very, very soon. I wish you the best. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining me here in the studio. I'll see you again in the next video.